Hey everybody, Patrick here. Today I'm going to review a game of Azalea against Katsu. I know that it's not the most popular deck right now, it's not the most powerful deck, and Katsu's taken a lot of hits over the last couple months, just from the bonds being banned as well as Art of War being banned. So he's on a great spot, but my opponent does play very well, and it is an interesting game, so stick around for it. I am playing in an experimental list as well. I'm playing my Aiming with Death Dealer list. This tries to leverage the fact that I can create aim counters off of Crow's Nest, and this is actually a matchup where those aim counters are put to pretty interesting use. So I'll start off by going through the deck list. First with equipment. So, like I said, we have Crow's Nest. This is the only way that I'm going to be able to make aim counters, and I need to use Azalea's ability to flip off the top in order to then pay 1 to give an aim counter. So that is the hoop I need to jump through in order to get aim counters. Also running Death Dealer. This is just a really powerful bow. It's great it's great just in general, but it makes me able to play very aggressive, and I can go on about it for a while. Other than that, we have Tunic, and this is actually kind of an interesting one in this matchup because we have so little armor that the one block really does matter. I would like to get one usage off of the actual resource generation, but if I'm forced to, I will just block with it, in the first, 3 turns if I have to, and it just like saves me the game. We do have Long Door Half Glove though, because Katsu will be running Warmongers. I can fully expect that. It comes with the added benefit of having Battle Worn 1, so we can stop some of their on hits triggering in the first, without having to put our tunic up or our skullbone up, right? So this is going to be a really important piece of equipment. Next, we have Skullbone Cross Wrap, and this is just great into these matchups where I'm looking for specific cards. There may have been consideration for something like Balance of Justice, but honestly, I'd rather just have Skullbone smooth out my turns and help me find powerful cards quicker. And then finally, we have Snapdragon Scalers. Again, I could have tried Perch Grapplers for a matchup like this where I care about on hits, but I do prefer the aggressive option where I'm just able to say, throw an arrow from my arsenal that I wasn't able to get away, and then snaps, and then throw a more meaningful arrow from my hand, or load from my hand and then throw that. Okay, going down the deck list though, I believe I run 51 main, but I have some interesting inclusions in the main, so I will go over those as well. So, Immobilizing Shot is coming from the side. This is like a Red in the Ledger mini. It only limits action cards and attack action cards and non-attack action cards, limiting their ability point usage. So it's not as good as Red in the Ledger. It doesn't affect Kodachi, but it is going to be really interesting to see if this actually affects this matchup at all. As well, I'm trying Judge, Jury, Executioner. This is in the main. I think this would be a cool matchup to see it do something interesting. So let's hope I find it at a good point. Since it's a Warmongers matchup, I'm bringing in Ravenous Rabble. This is just good to not lose tempo when I'm ahead and I get Warmongered. And it also helps me set up my aim counters, interestingly enough. Red in the Ledger is a massive card in this matchup. It is what's going to, really help me win this game if I can find it. And yeah, it's just a better version of a Mobilizing Shot. Next, I'm also running Ridge Rider Shot. This is helping to find a way to get my an arrow that I care about aim counters on top. Similarly, it's got the Periphery. It's interesting in just being able to see an extra card. Sometimes I can flip when I otherwise wouldn't, but it also does let me find things like a Mobilizing Shot or Judge, Jury, Executioner. All right, let's hop into it though. Here we are in game, and I lose the die roll, so my opponent chooses to go first. I think that makes sense. I'm pretty sure that they can leak some damage here, or they're very likely to leak some damage here. And if I go first, I always just threaten, getting a nasty on hit, and then they just skip a turn, and then suddenly they're 2 turn cycles behind, or they're 2 turns behind. So yeah, I think going first is completely valid. They could also just find Warmongers. So my opponent comes in with Surging Strike, pitching a blue 100 wins. So he's coming for 4 here. I just choose to put 2 pumps in front of it. I think I'm going to block with my full hand here. I just want to stop them from getting their mass trigger and also stop them from getting their Katsu trigger to make it a tough turn to block. But you see here, they just naturally have the Whelming Gust Wave red in hand. So good start so far. The only way it could have been better is if that was a Surging Strike red. Okay, I stand corrected. This is really good. They just had the natural Mugenshi line, so they had yellow surging into red whelming into Mugenshi release. I don't have any cards in hand here. They also had the blue, so it just pitches perfectly. They grab 2 Lord of Winds and then come with Kodachi pitching, I'm assuming one of the Lord of Winds. Yeah. And to stop max trigger here, I'm just going to put a long draw in front of this. If I don't, okay, I was going to say if I don't, that'll be a massive throw, but good. I'm glad I covered that up. So they're going to come with Kodachi, then Lord of Wind for 2. I'm assuming they're not going to Arsenal. I don't think Lord of Wind's a very good Arsenal target. They'd rather just get it, thrown away. But here we go. They get 8 damage off of their turn 0 by going first. And yeah, I luckily managed to cover up the mask trigger and cover up some damage. But I draw into this hand here. So I have Lace with Inertia, Premeditate, Endless Arrow, and then Knock the Death Whistle. I think here, so I have 2 options. I can pitch the Knock to load in the Endless Arrow and then just pump it to 10 and then shoot that in. They're very unlikely to cover it. But I think I should have just gone for a Red in the Ledger. I think I should have played the Knock, put the Endless Arrow in Arsenal, and then gotten Red in the Ledger, flipped, and then probably pitched my Lace with Inertia. I think that would have been a pretty good play, just to carry tempo forward with the Ponder from the Premed. Because there's no way they could have blocked it. They could have blocked, let's see, they can't block 8 at all. They only have 3 block on their equipment, so they could have thrown like, a Sink or like a Flick Flack in front of it, which I don't even know if they'd run. But instead, that doesn't matter because I went with this line instead where I pitched the Knock. I drew into the Codex of Frailty. I choose to play it, which I think is heads up actually. Frailty is really effective against Katsu. So good on me. I'm going to really IP myself here. I'm going to have I'm going to have 3 cards in hand at the end of turn, right? I'm going to likely have 2 Ponders and the Endless Arrow back in hand. Oh, nice of my opponent to let me undo my misclick. But yeah, I'm going to be coming in for 10 here. So this is why I don't like this line. I think I should have just gone with the Red in the Ledger play instead. Oh well. This is the line I went with. It's not a bad line. Like, it's just, there's a better line. So let's see what they do. I wouldn't be surprised if they just put like 3 cards in front of this plus their breaking scales. If they have the block for it. If they have 3/3 blocks, I think that's the correct play here. Nope, they just take 10. They say they don't care about the Lace or me getting an extra Ponder or getting the Endless Arrow back to hand. Here, I think I'm happy to actually just put the Endless Arrow into Arsenal. I put the Lace with Frailty. The reason I like the Endless Arrow here in Arsenal is because it means that I just know that I have a 2-card, or like I have like a 2-card play, right? Having the Endless and the Frailty just means I go Frailty, Endless, and then any other card that I'm able to not block with is just like gravy on top of that. It's just a addition to that. But my opponent comes in with Surging Strike, pitching away a yellow Mugenshi. It's the only color it's in, but pitches the Mugenshi. And I could consider blocking this. So with Katsu, when I see them swing in like a combo starter like that, I always need to think, do they just have it naturally? They've had the red whelming naturally. So if I block the Bolden Shot here, and then it's a little bit less likely they have a red whelming. But if I let this hit, then they're going to go find one, most likely, and then I'm going to have to block that. So I think I do like I like just blocking with the Bolden Shot here. If I get punished, I get punished. This is a place where I might just put Tunic in front of it, but okay, that kind of all doesn't matter because they had a different kind of red Gust Wave. They had this new Gust Wave of the Second Wind. Okay, they even had Ancestral Empowerment. So yeah, I guess they could have pushed the Surging Strike over top, right? I feel like that was maybe the correct way to do it, but I don't know. This is still really good. This is still just a good damage line from them. Okay, so they had a Lord of Wind. So that's 2 Lord of Winds actually in the grave. So their Mugenshi line is much less potent, even though I know where, like, yeah. Anyways, they Katsu trigger, they get the Gust Wave, or the second Gust Wave of the Second Wind. So yeah, it's just a 0 for 4. There's no one hit here. They're not threatening Mask, so I'm fine to just take this. This turn, I should definitely just go for Red in the Ledger. I think that going Knock to get red in the ledger. So play out the Frailty, then go knock, get red in the ledger, putting Endless Arrow into the arsenal. Actually, no, why would I do that? So I should have gone Frailty. So right here, okay. This is actually a really good play. Leave that on top. Come on, good. Now play out the Lace. Now Death Dealer to get the Endless Arrow into arsenal. Oh, why'd I do that? Oh my gosh, this is such a bad play. Now I had such a sweet line set up. Okay. I'm upset with myself for taking that play. I had a really good line where I could have pitched the end or the red in the ledger here and then knocked to get a red in the ledger, flip into it, and then shoot that for 11 dominate. That would have been much better. But I apparently just didn't see that line or chose not to. Okay. I mean, it's still an okay, like, I was going to say it's still okay, but I don't know. This turn, that last turn really sucked. I'm upset with myself for, maybe I was just playing too quick or I didn't see the line or I don't know. Maybe I didn't do the math on it, but that's a punt for me right there. That was not tight play. But big part of getting better is just not getting hung up on your mistakes in game and just trying to win still. So yeah, even though I'm just reviewing, it's still, don't get hung up on my mistake. Just accept it, improve it in the future. But here we come. We, long draw, sending some stuff to the bottom. I think I could have, yeah, this is probably the best way I could have done this, honestly. So coming with Endless Arrow here. Yeah, they want to undo. Nothing's changed. But yeah, coming in for 8 here. Gonna, IP myself off this, but that's fine. They're also underneath Warmongers, so their Ancestral Harmony is turned off. I'm choosing to use my Snapdragons here. And that's actually a fair play. I do like that. Because I'm just going to pitch, pitch Seek and Destroy. That's good, yeah. I just traded my Snapdragons for 4 damage, and it's fine, right? They're probably going to take this, or they're going to put, like, 2 cards in front of it, or 1 card in front of it. I could fully expect, like, since they flick-flacked, I'd expect a combo to just fully block it. No? Okay. That is fine by me. This is actually really strong. Here, yeah, I'm good to go put just a... Opposed to earlier when I said I should have put the arrow into arsenal, here I like putting the pump into arsenal because I have my tunic up, I know I have a 0-cost arrow, so this is like a really strong turn. Coming with Kodachi, what are they pitching? Another Warmongers, nice. So that's 2 Warmongers. One's going to probably be shuffled by a Katsu effect though, but I know where it is for now. Coming with Kodachi, and this is all fine. I'm just going to try to deny them the mask trigger if they come in again, which they don't, so sweet. This is a good hand. I think I'm good to just go, yeah, opt. Yeah, send that to the bottom. That's not what I need right now. Play Premed, play Seek and Destroy, play Lace, and then I think I could probably just pitch the Codex of Bloodrot to load in the Endless Arrow, and then maybe find another pump or an arrow. I think that's pretty good. All right, I mean, I spending the tunic feels kind of unnecessary. I think that this is a mistake that I've caught myself doing a couple times. So, yeah. I do like blind flipping here, because if I hit another pump, then I just get to go Codex, put the Amp Arrow in, and that would have been a really strong turn. But instead I hit this Ridge Rider shot, so kind of sucks. But I'm just going to go pump, then probably play out the Codex, and then choose what to arsenal next turn, whether it be the card off the Ponder or the Amplify. So, yeah, it was not the tightest play for me. I think I should have taken a slightly different line there. Still good, though. Yeah, they're just going to take this. They're saying that their hand's better on offense, right? It's dominated, so they're just going to bet that their hand can do, close to 20 damage, close to 21 damage here, which I believe they can. Yep, Codex looks good. Because I'm happy to just play out, like, block with all my arrows, play out all my pumps, and then Codex for, like, a Endless Arrow or something like that on this coming turn. But I draw into 3 arrows, so this hand blocks well. So I'm probably just going to go block with 3 arrows, then Premed Codex. Sounds like a pretty good play to me. But you can see here, if I still had my tunic, then this turn is a little bit different, right? It's better, I think. But I might be blocking with my tunic, so that's fair too. Yeah, here looks like a good spot. It just denies them the first like it denies them getting a potential mask trigger on this coming chain link. So I do like blocking with tunic there. Okay, so they're coming with E-Strike. I'm expecting them to either draw a card or come for 7 and then snaps on this. It looks like a pretty good opportunity to do that. They choose draw a card. Sounds good. Razor Reflex. All right, that's some tech. That's not seen in a lot of like normal Katsu lists, but there are no normal Katsu list right now, so this is cool. Yep, they're coming in for 8 here. That's fine. They get their Katsu trigger. What are they gonna do here? Warmongers me. Okay. Yeah, choose peace. I think I'm good to just play out the Codex. It's the best thing I can do. Yeah, I like that I was quick to make that call. Because there's no way that I get to play out arrows here. So yeah, just playing out the Codex instead. Sure, it gives them an arsenal card, right? They get to choose what they want to put in their arsenal, but I really do value the frailty here. It's just gonna pretty much guarantee that there's no way they're getting their mass trigger here if I block properly. I get back the Ravenous. That's good. I don't have any. If I had Red in the Ledger in Arsenal or in a Grave, I'd be putting it in my Arsenal right now, but misplays. And they get a Whelming Gust Wave Red. Okay. I need to discard something. Yep. Get rid of one of my Amp Arrows. I could consider getting rid of a Pump just to be able to block better. But this is still good. I think this is still a fine choice. And on their side, they get rid of a second Razor Reflex. Cool. Since they're under war, yeah, they had to pitch that Ancestral Harmony. Good. If they were not under Warmonger, then this would just be game if they got to play that out, I think. Instead, they're coming in with Surging Strike. I know they have a red Whelming in Arsenal, so I need to block that out. And I need to respect Breaking Scales. So I think I'm okay to let this hit. If they want to grab a Mugenshi, that's fine, I think. I could also block 5 here and then play out the pre-med. So I could block 6, right, on the Amp plus the Endless, and then on their side, I can then block with another arrow plus Skullbone and then go pre-med Ravenous. That's not a bad play. They do decline to the Katsu trigger. That's fine. Here, I think I'm just blocking with Skullbone, right? Put 4 in front of this. Don't let them get the draw off the... Yeah, because they could Breaking Skills that. They might have a third Razor Reflex. If they do, whatever. I'm not playing around that. I don't have that luxury here. Take the tempo, so it's coming in for 5. I think I'm good to just block this. Right? I think just blocking 6 on this with like Endless Amp and then going Pre-Med Ravenous, that sounds pretty strong. Hopefully I come in for 7 and then they're forced to give me 2 cards or a Ponder. No, okay, never mind. I'm down to 2. I think I prefer blocking 6 there. I think. Maybe not. This is the more aggressive line, so I guess that's a big deal. Yeah, just start off with the Ravenous. It's the only thing I can do. I shouldn't start off... I mean, I could start off the Pre-Med, maybe. That'd be interesting. I think I should start off the Pre-Med, actually. Looking at this again. All right, I guess not. Starting off with the Pre-Med just makes them more or less likely to block this fully. Because here they could just put 3 in front of this and then just like look to Kodachi lock me in this game. But if I'm coming in for 6, then they're forced to block it even more and really consider what I have in hand. So I think I do dislike this play. I think I should have gone Pre-Med first. Yeah, they're just putting 3 in front of this. That makes sense. Right now, they're representing Kodachi lock. They still have their Heart and Cross strap, so if they manage to keep a blue, they can go like, Kodachi CNC is really strong, or even just having like a CNC that can go Heart and Cross Trap CNC. Like I am still expecting them to be playing like CNCs in this game. I think that's a really strong sideboard for ninjas. Here though, I'm going to just go, yeah, Codex of Bloodrot, showing why it's in the deck. It's stripping them of a blocker and just giving like 2 more damage, right? Like this is a real strength of this card. When you draw it in these, when you draw it off your Death Dealer in these, single digit games, you're really happy with it. Premed and Endless Arrow obviously take away some of the strength of the ponder that I'm getting off of it. So sure, it's not getting its full value or full strength here, but say I didn't have those, then it would be a crazy good, it would be a really good draw as well. So here, I don't think they want to go to 1. I really think they want to just block with another card and then go Kodachi attack. I think that's much stronger than what they're doing here. I'm pretty sure I don't know their arsenal. I don't think that's from a codex. Right? Because they played out the red whelming, so that's an unknown card. Yeah, I think they should just block with a card from hand here. Yeah, Yellow Surge is kind of awkward. 2 cost, 4 power. Like they probably just don't have enough. Like if they have a blue in hand, then maybe it was correct to keep that. But we'll see what they had. We'll see what they had in a second. We'll keep in mind though that they just blocked with a Yellow Surging. Here I should put the Endless Arrow and Arsenal, because I just want to block the rest of my cards and then worst case only throw the Endless Arrow. Even though it blocks a little bit weaker, they only have 2 cards, so I'm not super afraid of what they're doing. Good choice by me. All right, we finally naturally drew a red in the ledger. I'm probably just gonna block with it here. Kodachi. So I do need to think for half a second if I want to play around Razor Reflex, and doing the math on this hand, I can't, right? Because they can just come in with another. If I block 4 here and then they come in with another Kodachi, they're still threatening to kill me with Razor Reflex. If I block 2 here, then they can still just go over the top, right, and kill me. So there's no reason to play around it. Because if they just go like Kodachi 4, which is more likely, then I just die. I can't block 4 on that. But it is a thing that I need to think about here, since they revealed the fact that they're playing Razor Reflex. Same line of thinking here. I'm just going to block Xaxes. Okay, Heartened, and then Whelming. Okay. So I'm good to just block 5 here, right? I think I just get to go Lace, Red in the Ledger. Yep, that looks good. So I'm covering 5 on 5. It does not have combo, so I'm not going to die to Breaking Scales. Remember that? So that's fortunate for me. I don't think we've seen CNC, and it's much less of a threat now that their Heartened is gone. So that's a nice hit for me. I really needed to hit a red here. I really needed to go 4/4 and just strip them of all their cards, because if they were able to keep even a single card, if this came in for 3, they put a 3 block in front of it, and then I come in for Endless Arrow, they block that for 4 off of 2 cards, and then they keep like a blue 0 cost or even a yellow 0 cost, then they just get to go Kodachi, and I'm Kodachi locked. It's game. Instead, I got fortunate to find the red. On their side, yep. So they are running CNC. Okay, but they just found it at an awkward time. Actually, one turn off. On my side, I managed to find my knock. I think my last knock. So good for me. That is a dominated error of my choice. I don't think there's any way they block this out. Yep. So I'll be coming in for 8 here. The most they could block is they could block 7 with an unmovable, but I don't think they're doing that. So this should be just game. Yep, good game. Very well played opponent. That was a lot of fun. GG's. Here we're on the post game, and that was a really good game. My opponent played very well, and hats off to them for playing not the meta right now. I think they played really tight. I think they made a lot of really good decisions, especially with their blocking. Like it was cool seeing like, oh, why are they doing that, and then being immediately like, yeah, that was the correct thing to block with, or the correct lines to shoot for. So well played opponent. I will say that I did not play so well. I think that they were the better player in that game, And I don't say they would like they deserve to win. I don't like that kind of language. I don't think anybody really deserves to win. Um, but that's kind of beside the point. I do think that I made some poor decisions around. I think it was turn 1 and 2 where I saw my knock. Right, I saw knock in turn 1, and it was kind of debatable whether I should have gone the line to get the red in the ledger because I would have been then down a pump. So a little bit awkward there. I think I could have done something better than what I did by just pitching the knock. I think even just going like finding an endless arrow to put on top and then like flipping into it could have been a better play. But I don't think that I chose the correct line right there. But it was not the worst. It was the turn 2 where I just straight up punted and could have gotten the red in the ledger and had a really good turn. Instead, I just chose not to. I just took the wrong line straight up, and that's unfortunate. It hurts my pride a little bit when I watch these back and I see me just make these horrible mistakes like that. But that's something I need to get over, and that's part of doing these reviews is finding my mistakes and improving on them. And that is definitely a mistake. I should have just grabbed the red in the ledger. It would have been a much easier game. I think the game would have just kind of been locked up at that point. Yeah. Other than that, I actually want to say that I did good, or I did well with my usage of Codex of Frailty. I think that the times that I saw it, where I just kind of played it out, I think I only did that once, but like the fact that I played it out was a little bit heads up and really helped me on the blocking in the following turn. And just again, frailties are so good against Katsu. It just neuters their ability to swing Kodachis and get those breakpoints from some cards that come through on Arsenal. As well, I think that I actually played really well in terms of blocking. My aggressive, I already said it was a little bit lacking, but I think my blocking was really tight. I think that I did a really good job of covering up their breakpoints, not getting got by their sort of like tricksy plays. And this is all due to I put in a lot of reps with one of my teammates, Clark, back when it was probably like back when we were getting into the game. He was playing Katsu, and learning a lot of those blocking decisions or a lot of those blocking choices and the questions that Katsu asks, and knowing how to answer them properly and victim to their not falling victim to their tricks really makes the matchup a lot easier. And I think that translates well into other matchups. So yeah, it was cool to see that I still had a lot of that knowledge and that it paid off. So it was nice to see that I remembered my learnings for how to play against Katsu. Other than that, Long Draw was a very good card in this matchup. Same with Snapdragons. So yeah, again, really well played opponent. Thank you for the game. Thanks for watching. If you had any questions about my choices in game, or you noticed something I could have done better, don't be shy to leave a comment. Also, check out the description for the deck list as well as a link to FaBrary. Thanks again, and until next video.